There's a shift happening from agentic frameworks to real agentic applications without frameworks, and it's powered by AI primitives. Today, let's talk about one of them, which is Workflow by Langbase. Workflow is the building block behind CHAI, which is computer-human AI that lets you wipe code any agent without any frameworks, infra glue, or brittle orchestration. This is one of the core primitives in Langbase. It's durable, it's declarative, and it gives you full control over agent execution. So let's break it down. What is Workflow? AI applications aren't just prompts anymore. They're processes, multi-step branching, async, and sometimes flaky. Workflow, which is an AI primitive, lets you turn those chaotic chains into clean, reliable flows with support for timeouts, retries, sequential and parallel steps, and smart conditionals. So let's build a small AI agent with Workflow primitive using the Langbase SDK. It will read an email, summarizes it, and analyze its sentiments and decide if we should reply to it or not. And then, based on that, write the reply. To build an email processing workflow, here's what we'll be doing. First thing first is the workflow setup. I'll create a multi-step email processing workflow. Then we'll move on to the second step, which is the email analysis. It will summarize the content of the email, analyze the sentiment of the message, and determines if a response is needed or not. The third and the final step is the response generation. If a response is needed, it will generate an appropriate reply, generate the response based on the email content and sentiment. So let's get started. Create a directory and navigate to it. Then run this command for the pretty standard node setup. Next, we'll install the Langbase SDK and .env to securely load our API keys. Then we'll create a .env file with our Langbase and LLM API keys in it. After that, create another file in the root directory with the name workflow.ts. In the workflow.ts file, let's import the Langbase client and the workflow primitive. Think of this as your orchestrator. Then add the retry helper. This utility retries failed steps with exponential backoff, useful when your model occasionally flakes. Then let's define the workflow. In an async function, we'll initialize the SDK and turn on debug mode so we can track what's happening under the hood. Then we'll create a new workflow. Next, let's define the step-by-step execution of the summarizing, analyzing, and response generating parts of this email workflow. To summarize the email, let's add the workflow step. Every step contains an ID and a run function. This one is running on GPT 4.1 mini. You can change the model based on your needs or preferences. And then with the instruction to create a concise summary. To analyze the sentiment, we use the same pattern of adding the workflow step. This time we're checking the tone, positive, neutral, or negative. Then to determine if a response is needed, here we're feeding the summary and sentiment into a model and ask, should we respond or not? To generate a response only if it is needed, we auto-generate a polished reply based on the original email and the previous steps. Let's return the results, which is the summary, sentiment, response needed, and the response results. To run the workflow, in the async main function, we're adding a real email in the sample email and then printing out the full result tree. Let's save this file. To run this email agentic workflow, I'm running this command in my terminal, and here's the response. I'm getting a log of each step. It's beginning with the starting step, which is the summarize email one. I'm getting a response, an output, and then getting an indication of the completed step. Then it moves on to the second step, which is the analyze sentiment, getting an output, and the completed step indication as well. Similarly, the third step is starting as the response is needed, so the output is true, again getting the indication of completed step. Lastly, the fourth step is the response generation with the output response. You just saw how this workflow efficiently processes an email through multiple steps. Email summarization and sentiment analysis are run in parallel. After the summary and sentiment analysis are complete, the response determination step is run, and if a response is needed, the response generation step is run. By running sentiment analysis and response determination in parallel, we optimize the workflow's execution time without sacrificing functionality. Each step still has access to the data it needs from the previous steps. So this is Workflow, the AI primitive. It's how you go from calling models to composing agents. You get control, retry logic, conditional flows, and logs that actually help you debug. Now you know that no orchestration frameworks are required, just primitives that scale with you. This is what CHAI is built on, and this is how you build your own. For more weekly AI tutorials, stay with me.